The New York Giants lost their 12th game of the season earlier today against the Commanders. We're still 11 days away from Christmas. And my question is this: what are we waiting for? Why have the Giants not fired Joe Schoen? I do not understand it. If you want John Mara to pull the plug on the Joe Schoen experiment, which has been a disaster, hit that thumbs up icon for me right now. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green, and I'm trying to figure out what the New York Giants are waiting for when it comes to firing Joe Schoen as their general manager. I don't understand why he's still in charge. I understand having him speak to the media at the bye week, and I maybe even understand him being the general manager for today's game. But you just got your ass whooped by the Washington Commanders with their backup quarterback playing. And you aren't going to beat the Vikings. And you're not going to beat the Cowboys. And maybe you luck into a win against the Raiders. Fire Joe Schoen Monday morning and start working on the future of the New York Giants. Because if you think that Joe Schoen is going to be a part of the solution to the problems that the Giants have in ownership, front office, coaching, players, and player development, you're insane. And you need to be checked out. Because Joe Schoen is not going to fix this problem. Joe Schoen didn't even fix the problem that Dave Gettleman set you in. He's only made it worse. Start interviewing GMs this week. Get ahead of the curve. You have to fill a head coach spot. How do you hire a head coach? You need a general manager. So you have to hire the GM first, unless you're going to go backwards like the Jaguars did last year with Liam Cohen. So get ahead, because this is what it's about. Like, what's the point of waiting, right? The New York Giants, there's been reports out there from very credible sources. We've heard it as well. The Giants are going to evaluate Joe Schoen once the season's over. Well, teams are going to start looking for head coaches once the season is over. And the Giants can't be late to the hiring head coach party that's going to be going down across the NFL. So you need to get ahead of it. And the way you do that is by firing Joe Schoen Monday morning, starting your head coach search so you can have a head coach, so you can have a fire Joe Schoen so you can get ahead in your general manager search, so you can hire a general manager and have one in place so you can have them go through a head coach search before all the good head coaches have chosen other jobs. Like, start now. There's nothing left we need to see with Joe Schoen. There's nothing. Do you think a win against the Raiders proves that he needs to be the GM of this team? You think if he goes and beats J.J. McCarthy, that he's going to turn around the New York Football Giants? You think if he beats the Dallas Cowboys for the first time in Week 18, it's going to matter? No, it doesn't fucking matter. It's over. It's over. Night, baby. Joe Schoen, you're done. You've had chance after chance. Like, surely these last 3 games aren't going to matter, right, John Mara? You're not going to base the future of the New York Giants off of how they fare against J.J. McCarthy, Aiden O'Connell, or whoever is the quarterback for the Raiders, and a Week 18 game where nobody's playing for anything. You got stomped by the Commanders today. Yeah, it said you lost by 8 points, but I watched that whole game. And I hate myself, so I went back and I watched it again after. And it was a joke. It wasn't close. You weren't competitive. Your special team stunk. Your offense only put up, 21 points against the Commanders' defense that got ripped to shreds by J.J. McCarthy last week. And prior to that, J.J. McCarthy was in the same talk of being a bust as Jamarcus Russell. All the money, top 5 highest paid defense, gave up 29 points today to Marcus Mariota, Bill Krosky-Merritt, and Jeremy McNichols, and a backup left tackle. Like, beating the Raiders shouldn't matter. Like, you're 2-12. Getting to 3-14 shouldn't keep Joe Schoen's job. You fired Brian Daboll. That was your card to play. You're 0-4 since firing Brian Daboll. And I can objectively say it as someone who I have said it 1,000 times. You need to fire Brian Daboll. He earned the right to be fired. The Giants look significantly worse without Brian Daboll. Jaxson Dart doesn't look as good, and that should be the most important thing. And for the defense, where you've fired the defensive coordinator, you've now fired the assistant defensive line coach, you're still no good. Marcus Mariota tore you up today. He had whatever he wanted. If it wasn't for a dumb fumble, this game would have never been that close. And if it wasn't for Abdul Carter with an awesome peanut punch rip move on the running back, McNichols, you gave him 144 yards on the ground today to Washington. They're one of the worst run offenses in the National Football League. You still can't stop the run. So you fired the head coach, you're 0-4 since then. You fired the defensive coordinator, you're worse since then. You told ownership you felt like there was talent on this team, and you need new coaching to get the results you wanted. Coaching changed, and you're still getting the results you didn't want. And to be honest with you, you've been blown out twice now. You were blown out against New England, and sure, 8 points isn't going to feel like a blowout. That was a lethargic football game that we just watched. There is a talent with coaching. I agree with Joe Schoen. There's also a talent issue on the roster, and there's a major issue with the talent in the front office. You aren't a good front office, you're not a good coaching staff, and your roster is not elite. There is a lack of top-end talent on this roster. I think you have some in Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, Dexter Lawrence, even though he's had a horrible season this year for his standards. They have Andrew Thomas and Jaxson Dart. Outside of that, what blue chippers do you have? Obviously, Malik Neighbors, he's hurt, but Cam Skattebo, maybe one day, and I love Cam Skattebo. You need like 20 impact players, 15 impact players, 48 dress on game days. Giants have like 8 really good football players. And I feel confident in saying that because you don't win games. And if you had a lot of good football players, you would win more games. You're 5-26 in your last 31 football games. You know how bad you have to be to lose 26 football games in 31 tries? There are teams that get lucky and win games. We haven't had one lucky win yet. You're 11-37 in your last 48 games. That includes 2-12 this year. It includes 3-14 last year and 6-11 the year before. I chose the last 2+ seasons because that is the Joe Schoen roster. I didn't want to include 2022. And maybe I'm not being fair, but that was Dave Gettleman's roster. Then Joe Schoen went through his second draft, his second free agency cycle, his second offseason. His fingerprints were on the team starting in 2024. And you got your teeth kicked in week 1, 40-0, and you're 11-37 since then. That's the most losses and the least amount of wins in that time frame, tied with the Tennessee Titans. And you don't win games in the division. You've never beat Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Ever. So you don't win games. You don't win games with new coaches. Most importantly, you don't win games in the NFC East against your rivals. That's where you're supposed to measure all your talent. It's time. Pull the plug. Pull the plug. Fire Joe Schoen.
We're only a few weeks in, and the NBA season is already wild. Stars are going off, rookies are making noise, and the action doesn't stop. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is where you can get in on all of it. Missouri listeners, listen up. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in the Show Me State. New customers bet just $5 and get $200 if your bet wins, paid in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code NIXCHAT. That's code NIXCHAT. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 4673669. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort Kansas, pass-through of per wager. Tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
There's been a lot of talk over the last couple of days about Jaxson Dart. Should the Giants roll to the future with him, as they do now have the number 1 pick again this week, and we'll see what happens over the next 3 weeks. There's been talks of selecting Mendoza, the quarterback for Indiana, now the Heisman Trophy winner. And I'll just say this, Jaxson Dart, shout out to my guy WBG84, go give him a follow on Twitter, one of the best in the game, says Jaxson Dart is the first rookie quarterback in NFL history with multiple games throwing for 240-plus yards, rushed for 60-plus yards, and scored 2 total touchdowns. First ever. He's done it multiple times. Like, why can we stop with the Mendoza nonsense? Like, how long have we been looking for our franchise quarterback? Since Eli hung it up. And you potentially have that guy. Has he been perfect? No. Can he still get a lot better? Yeah. And that's what's super encouraging, because the baseline for Jaxson Dart right now, without Cam Scadaboo and without Malik Neighbors, tells me he's a difference maker at that position. And I'll just let you know this. John Mara ain't hiring a GM who doesn't want Jaxson Dart. Even if it's the right GM, Mara is going to hire someone that wants to build with Jaxson Dart. Is that the right way to do it? I don't know. Maybe because I think it is Jaxson Dart going to be the guy that can help save this team and get you back on track. But John Mara ain't going out and hiring a GM who wants to spend the number 1 pick on a quarterback. I can absolutely promise you that. And let's be honest, Jaxson Dart has been better than we all thought he was going to be. We thought this was a guy that was a year away from playing. He was too raw. He was not ready to play. He was too rough around the edges. He came from a gimmicky college system in Lane Kiffin. Everyone said it. And if I told you that Jaxson Dart had the chance to be the offensive rookie of the year 25 weeks ago, you wouldn't believe me. And here we are, right in the thick of it. He's doing this without Neighbors. He's doing this without Scadaboo. Imagine when he has legitimate NFL talent around him, and he's not trying to force backside digs to Jalen Hyatt. And I love Isaiah Hodgins, but him being his number 2 receiver. Darius Slayton dropping touchdowns. Darius Slayton dropping third down conversions. There's not elite NFL talent around him right now. I think Wan'Dale Robinson's a good football player. If Wan'Dale Robinson is your best weapon in an offense in 2025, you're in a bad spot. And Jaxson Dart actually has this offense putting up points in that situation. Like, obviously, I would like to see him be better late in games. I didn't think he was good at all in that final drive against the Commanders today. The first down throw to Wan'Dale, chuck and pray. Second down, he throws the out route to Tyrone Tracy. Okay. Third down, he's late off his back foot, lollipopping a ball to Darius Slayton, and then again, chuck and pray on fourth down to Wan'Dale Robinson. I'd like to see him be better late. And the only way he's going to do that is if he continues to get those chances, those opportunities, and those moments to get those reps and work on it. I will say this. The refs and medical team have to stop the blue tent BS. He had to be taken out of the game today to go into the blue medical tent to be evaluated for a concussion because he hurt his hip. I understand Brian Daboll went in there when he wasn't supposed to. I understand Cam Scadaboo went in there when he wasn't supposed to. But you guys are the problem. He's gone in there 5 times. He has 1 reported concussion. No. He's been in there 5 times. He has 0 reported concussions. And the only time he actually got a concussion against the Chicago Bears, the spotters didn't even know it. He went back into the game the next drive and then had to be pulled. So the 4 or 5 times, I'm misremembering the number, 4 or 5 times the NFL has mandated Jaxson Dart go get checked for a concussion. He didn't have one. Like, can we relax? Can we allow this guy to play football? Can we allow the dual threat that was called Evel Knievel allowed to take a hit? It's ridiculous at this point. Like, also a part of it goes on to Jaxson Dart. Leave no doubt. He did kind of linger on the ground because his hip was hurting. And it may have looked like his head got hurt a little bit and he laid on the ground. Maybe you got to pop up quicker. Maybe you just can't ever look like you're hurt. Can't ever bend down like you're tired either, like they got you in the Chargers game earlier in the year. Like, I don't know. I'm tired of you having to be treated in a different way than every other quarterback is treated. So I 100% feel all the frustration that you feel right now, because I want to see you be you. I want to see Jaxson Dart be Jaxson Dart, because I'm all in on the Dart train. But I'm not going to be if you're not allowed to run, if you're not allowed to take hits, if you're not allowed to fight for extra yardage. That's why we love Jaxson Dart. That's why we fell in love with Dart. We believe in Dart. Don't neuter him. And the NFL, get a grip. It's been a joke the way you've been treating this kid. And all the beat reporters out there that want to point the finger every time Jaxson Dart gets hurt, gets tackled, gets touched, gets breathed on, it's tackle football. And it ain't flag football. Let the kid ball. We're all riding with you, brother. If you are, hit that thumbs up icon. I'm riding with Jaxson Dart until the wheels fall off, even if you think I'm being critical of him. You know what? It's my job. And I promise you, no one's more critical about Jaxson Dart than Jaxson Dart. So there's that. Hit that thumbs up icon if that's your QB. And make sure you are following me on social media at @MarshallGreen_.